placed at the Rashtrapati Bhavan the bust of the British architect Sir Edwin Lutyens, the man who designed the much of colonial era New Delhi, including the president's residence, has now been removed and replaced with a bust of the celebrated Indian freedom fighter and towering statesman Rajagopalachari, popularly known as Rajaji. He was also the first and the only Governor General of independent India from 1948 to 1950 and a close associate of Mahatma Gandhiji. The bust was unveiled by President Rashtrapati Murmu at the ceremony and taking to social media platform. The president also described the move as part of the ongoing step to shed the vestiges of a colonial mindset and celebrate Indian heritage and leadership and those who served Bharat Mata. In fact, not just the president, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had also announced this decision on his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat, saying that replacing Lutyens' statue with that of Rajaji was an important act of a mental decolonization. That's how the Prime Minister described it. He said it was part of a very conscious effort to foreground Indian icons at India's highest offices. But this decision has not gone uncontested. The PDP leader Iltija Mufti questioned the move, saying Lutyens made Delhi what it is today and that heritage cannot be erased by removing busts or plaques. She also argued that many of India's architectural marvels reflect the British and Mughal influence. Even the Congress leader Udit Raj criticized the decision, saying that if the government wants to erase British legacy, it should also remove the railways and the parliamentary system in its entirety. Listen in.
This has come to my notice that bust of Lutyens is going to be removed from President Place. It's a very sad. Mr. Modi, then remove all railway, army, Central Legislative Assembly, that is the parliament system, assembly, all these were contributed and established by the British. And in addition, what is more important for you, if you really want to prove that everything has been developed by your ancestors, then you go and study Veda and establish Gurukul and let your children study in Sanskrit languages. And why are you becoming engineers?
Now we have breaking updates now coming in after Lutyens' bust was replaced at the Now we have reactions coming in from the Congress party, and while some from the Congress party seem to be criticizing the move, there are some leaders who are also hailing it, including Shashi Tharoor, senior Congress leader, who has taken to social media and he welcomes it. Here is what he goes on to say. He says, "I'm truly pleased to see Rajaji honored by a statue at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He was its first Indian occupant as the only Indian Governor General of India before we became a republic, and he yielded his seat to the new president." So he's talking about the legacy of Rajaji. And then Shashi Tharoor also went on to say, "I have long admired his convictions and was a strong supporter of his Swatantra Party in my student days. His set of values and principles, liberal economies and support of free enterprise combined with social justice, strong anchoring in Indian civilization and religious faith, but without a shred of communal bigotry and a staunch faith in the rights, freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution, including keeping the government out of our kitchens, bedrooms and libraries, remain mine to this day. It is sad that there are few left to follow him today." So this is the message that has come in from Shashi Tharoor. Let's go across to my colleague Shivam, joining us on the broadcast with the details. And Shivam, a lot of politics breaking out. The government has made its stance clear. This is part of the decolonization efforts. In fact, the Prime Minister also went on to call it a mental decolonization, speaking about why this change was necessary, and the opposition seems to be split in the decision.
Well, indeed, Pratibha, during his address during the Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister emphasized on the need of making such changes and how it is, as you rightly mentioned, going to decolonize our mindset. But at the same time, we are constantly seeing the politics happening. Last night, Udit Raj, almost mocked the BJP government, saying that if you want to, remove all the British, architecture, British, fragments, then you should remove the railway, you should remove the army. But at the same time, senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has welcomed this move. As you just read his post, he has in fact said that it was C Rajagopalachari's ideologies, was his ideas that keeps the government away from monitoring too much and getting into your rooms, getting into your personal space, something that the Congress claims to be doing it. So instead of applauding and saying once that yes, the statue of C Gopalachari is bringing his saying something in the favor of C Rajagopalachari, they're just doing the politics, saying that BJP just wants to take the credit of everything.
Shivam, just a moment, stay with us. I want to introduce Pradeep Bhandari of the BJP joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, a towering statesman, somebody who had a very big role in India's freedom movement. Why is the Congress and some within the opposition objecting to it?
Well, the Congress party, because of its appeasement considerations and compulsions, and because of suffering from a Lutyens hangover, is unable to even support their own leader, C Rajagopalachari, who, if you recall and remember, was a prominent freedom fighter and even constitutionally contributed significantly to the drafting of the Indian Constitution. In fact, Rahul Gandhi is being shown the mirror by one of their own congressmen, Shashi Tharoor. Despite that, Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi Vadra family not coming out openly and backing the move or replacing the Lutyens symbol with that of our freedom fighter tells you that the Congress party still supports and is suffering from the Aurangzeb and the Lutyens mindset. And precisely this colonizing mindset was exposed and removed from power by the people of India, which have supported Prime Minister Narendra Modi's decolonization journey, whether it is mentally or even politically in power.
Okay, and what would you say to some in the opposition and including Priyanka Chaturvedi as well, who have said that history, good and bad, should be kept, and this is BJP's way of erasing history and it should not be done?
Well, this is why they've been out of power. This is why the Uddhav Sena has been made to sit out of power, because they believe that the Indian history should be represented and looked from the Lutyens and the colonial point of view, not from the point of view and the perspective of our freedom fighters. I believe that the more they say this, the more the people of India will continue to make the Indian opposition, in particular the Congress party and the Gandhi Vadra family, a fringe opposition.
Okay, all right. Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. The BJP says that the opposition leaders are opposing decolonization. Many from the BJP are also saying that this is the reason why the Congress and the ecosystem remains out of power. Listen in to the BJP's counterattack.
But in India, they want the symbols of colonialism and Gulami to persist. They want that those who were the invaders, like the British or the Mughals, their symbols should continue, and they are comfortable with that. But if we celebrate our own legacy, our own culture, our own civilizational heritage, then they have a problem with it. They hate India so much that they are willing to even adopt British and Mughal and their symbols, but they hate the symbols of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
In fact, reacting to the developments, Edwin Lutyens' great-grandson, Matt Ridley, has also shared a picture of himself taken with the bust last year, saying that he was saddened by the decision to remove the bust of his great-grandfather from the presidential palace in Delhi, a building that Lutyens himself designed. And in fact, this is the picture that has been posted. He has also put out a message where he has gone on to say that he is saddened by the decision. This is the picture, and here is what he goes on to say. Sad to read that the bust of Lutyens, my great-grandfather, is to be removed from the presidential palace he designed in Delhi. Here I am with it last year. I wondered at the time why his name had been removed from the plinth. This was the post with the picture that he had put up. The decision, in fact, also seems to have split the opposition in this regard, because some in the opposition say that history must be celebrated. There may be good or bad history, but it needs to be a part of it. In fact, many from the opposition going on to say that the BJP is trying to replace history. And let's now shift our attention to the political fight